this emergency meeting. I think you gotta turn me down.
You got a pen.
All right, first of all, I just want to open up with just a couple of things. We're going to touch on the governor.
Go ahead, please.
All right. It was so exciting to see the governor actually on this ground, here. So we got a opportunity to talk to the governor and kind of tell him exactly what we need, and he gave us, he gonna get us exactly what we need. So everything we asked for, he said it was either here or it's definitely on the way. So that was some exciting news. So just wanted to put that out. We got the resources here and are steady coming. So we really appreciate that. All right, Mr. Hammond, go ahead.
Everything's coming together. I can't believe how much has happened in the last 48 hours in a positive way. I'm going to let the sheriff give you an update. We're getting resources from different areas, but people got to have water now, and we got to have food. And people have been patient, and now they're running out of patience. So we're trying to get that going. And the other thing on the sheriff to detail is how we've got to let our folks back in, citizens only. So we're going to do our best to make the road safe. We're trying to coordinate with DOT. We may give out of patience with that. We've got several bridges out totally. We've got to be bypassed. Some of it's going to be one lane. Just talking briefly with Mr. Yeager, we're going to try to get one lane open through the gate. It's going to be primitive. We're still not going to have anybody on the roads at night. It's too dangerous. But we're going to try our best in the next few hours to get it where we can open it up and let people come back to the home. Sheriff, if you would talk about two things. One, letting people back in, but number two, we've had a hard time getting water on the ground and food on the ground, and the sheriff has made an alternate path, so we may have it coming from several locations, but if you would tell us and where it's going to be.
Okay. There you go. All right. Sure. There you go. Okay. Been a busy day, but we're making things happen. Right now we've got 4 vehicles, semi-truck full of water and food that's headed to Weewall, and 4 that's headed down here. Been working with the National Guard. They have been concentrating on airdrops, and that hasn't happened yet. They're going to set up pods and distribution points whenever we get the airdrops going, but we're still waiting for that to happen. In the meantime, we had coordinated this through our state partners last night to get these trucks, and it went from 4 trucks last night to 8 trucks today. So we're getting them headed south now. There should be a crew that's coming in just within the next few minutes into the north end of the county, and we'll have the food and water down here within the hour, I would think. The distribution point's going to be Weehitchka High School up there at Gator Circle at the very front, and down here is going to be the elementary school, the Circle Drive there, to get it distributed out there. People can come and pick it up, but what we're going to do, since the guard's going to be tied up with the airdrops and waiting for that to happen, we're going to have law enforcement officers that's going to be manning those posts there. They're going to get the supplies, work with our volunteer fire departments, and distribute it out in the community so we can get the food and water to the people that are needing it the most. So that's in place, and I'm hoping that's going to happen like really soon. Within the next hour, we'll have food and water and ice. We had an order in there for a Red Cross component and some cleaning supplies. Don't know if that's going to happen, but we're still working on that aspect of it. The other thing that we have got to do is get people back in this county. Okay, a lot of people that are wanting to see their homes. I know it's going to be devastating for them to get back in here and see it. I know it's hard to manage more people. I know there's the pros and the cons, but I've talked with the commissioners individually. We all have a need for that. The biggest issue we've got now for safety issues, okay, is the roads on Highway 98, okay? Our DOT component, unless you're in the room right now, we have not been able to locate him in EOC for a little while. So what I have contacted the state EOC up there. I got the deputy commissioner or director of DOT on the phone just a few minutes ago. He has authorized us to go out and block the portions of Highway 98 and if we need to set up law enforcement there to keep people from coming through. But every area, and I just called John, and I think they've got in a request coming to you guys too, to help us out from the state.
Can you tell me where you want it, and I'll set it up?
You the man, thank you.
I don't know what.
Okay, all right. So right now, we're talking about blocking travel from Highland View to Windmark. That area there is just too dangerous to pass. It's gonna cave in, and I don't know who the victim's gonna be on top of the road whenever it happens, but it's gonna happen. Let's block it off, and if anybody's gotta go from St. Joe or Highland View around, they're gonna have to take the long trip and make it around 386 and go down. Here in town, we've got the Tapper Bridge there, and I think we've all know the way to get around it. They'll block it off, and the same thing in Simmons Bayou, but the rest of 98 is open up. At that point, we can start letting people get back in. Before that can be done, we're going to be getting on dark hours. We know we've got daylight curfew or dark curfew in effect, so my suggestion would be, and for the board's consideration, is open it up, letting people to come back in first light in the morning. Okay? I know we've got a lot of issues here. We've got looters. We've got people that are taking advantage of good folks in a bad time. But we've got more law enforcement officers in Gulf County now than we've ever had, and we've got more coming. So we're going to do what we can to get out there and keep the looters, and we're going to put them in jail, whatever we got to do. We'll still have checkpoints coming into the county, making sure that the only people that are coming in here are going to be citizens, residents, or property owners. Okay, we're going to do that. And if we've got people that are also want to victimize people here by gouging and charging you $100 to cut one tree, we're going to keep them at bay as well. Set up something that, unless they have checked in with EOC and been vetted out through them, they're not going to be allowed to come back into the county unless they're an authorized business, and we'll work through our business community to make sure that's done right. So that's my proposal now, is to sure up the areas on Highway 98, get them blocked down, let John and his crew do the blocking, and let's get folks back in here, because we've got folks that are in houses, and we've done basically a sweep of the entire county using our urban rescue components. FWC, y'all seen all the people. I mean, I can't say enough about my law enforcement personnel and my search and rescue. They've done a great job. They've hit a lot of houses. We've been fortunate thus far. There's no reported fatalities in Gulf County. I would love for it to stay that way, but we've got a lot of houses out there that are collapsed in. There's no way for us to know what's going on inside that house until we allow family members to come back in and see what's going on. So that's my proposal to y'all, to get this county open back up at daylight in the morning, but we're still going to be checking people to make sure. The only thing that we're doing is getting citizens and authorized personnel back into the county.
I agree.
All right, thanks, sir. Need a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Rogers, second by Commissioner McCrone. Any further board discussion? Yes, sir.
Just one thing. I went down 98, and right there at the Methodist Church, it's in pretty bad shape also. Consider closing it there and sending them down Monument
That's right.
and bringing them out at 20th Street instead of,
We need to block it off at the light.
Yeah.
Michael, me and Mr. Yeager took a ride out to the stump hole, and they're trying to fill it in best they can. Is John Howell, did he step out?
yeah, he stepped out.
Okay. I don't know how we want to handle that, as far as it's in bad, you know.
We're going to try to get one lane, I'm assuming.
It's going to be rough. People need to understand it's not going to be at the stump hole.
Yes.
Yeah,
Primitive.
it is very much. So,
One other thing, as far as the roads, the state did authorize us to use county assets and block the roads however we need to do it with our road department. And I know they're tasked out right now, but they did authorize us to do that if we deem it a safety issue. I think there's already cones out there, but we can block it down further if we need to.
So did you have an estimate of what time you would block the roads tomorrow?
Well, currently right now, I mean, I would say we're going to go ahead and do that tonight, because it's just safety issues, yeah.
Turn that mic on.
I understand why you're asking. Okay.
Sure.
All right,
Another thing that we
yes.
can possibly do, if they get out there, and we'll take a look at it, we can put a law enforcement officer I think the roughest spot, of course, is gonna be there in Highland View. We can detour around this. If we feel like that it's safe, and can maintain one-lane traffic there, we could put a law enforcement officer there and direct traffic back and forth there if we want to keep free-flowing traffic back and forth out to the beach. I know there's a lot of people, and it is an inconvenience to go all the way around, but we've got enough law enforcement personnel to man that. If that's something that I'll let some of the DOT people look at it this afternoon, and either it's going to be closed down, or we'll have law enforcement going back and forth and directing people to get across it. Okay?
All right,
And correction on one thing, we're still doing assessments in the north end of the county. We haven't got everything covered. Just updated by my lieutenant here, we've still got some areas down in Dalkeith towards the landings and stuff that we haven't been able to get in to do assessments, still clearing roads, and got a little bit of work to do there, but that's on tap for first thing in the morning.
Okay, all right. I had a question, but I just went blank. All right, I got a motion by Commissioner Rogers, second by Commissioner McCoy. Any further board discussion on this? All right. Any opposition? Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, and again, just to repeat, that both of those would be, Wewell and St. Joe. You said high school in Wewell?
High school in Wewell.
And elementary school in Port St. Joe, water and food. We need, just got a request in right as I walked up, to get a couple of National Guard folks at the Piggly Wiggly. They're having some problems there, so just to keep the peace, and they're allowing folks to go and get food right now, so we need to work on that. Jim's got an update on the water, I think.
Yes, sir, I do. On the water, the guys have been out in the field working on the distribution system today. We've encountered numerous problems going towards the beaches area. We tried to open up everything in White City and the beaches. We could only hold 11 PSI. So we had to back up, and now they're going back valve to valve trying to find it. They got out to approximately Gulf Air and found another tremendous leak there. So at 3 o'clock, the guys are still trying to determine how much they could turn on today. So they're working diligently to get through the beaches and to get over to White City as we speak. As far as this, with the sewer plant, thank you, Mr. Hammond. He actually found us a Thompson pump, so we're going to continue to work there. We have a generator. The commission met today, and one thing we did do is we rented a generator. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, so we'll have an on-site generator for the headworks there. So that should take care of us until such time as power comes back on. A couple of things that we have also been looking at: food distribution. It sounds like y'all covered that. That was one of the requests we had. We're getting a lot of people that really need food and water, so it sounds like y'all have that covered there. Let's see.
I'd like to say something about the food.
Absolutely.
Said we setting up supplies at elementary school here in Fort St. Joe. Okay, what about the people that can't get there?
Yeah, but I think the mayor,
The sheriff said we had some organizations.
Mr. Langston, I think the mayor you gonna mention that, what we talked about?
Yeah.
Buses,
Yeah.
buses,
Yeah.
we had to turn people over there, or either we could get a distribution place over there.
Yeah.
On the other side, there's a lot of elderly people over there that can't drive or don't have a way to get over this far. So our first thought was to try to get some food over there, food and water, and if not, then maybe get buses loaded and bring the people over there that need to come.
We're going to try to do both. We're going to try to, that's going to be the main distribution point. We're going to try to, through our volunteers, to get water to each fire department. And again, at some juncture, I would hope we might could use the gym as a distribution point. But this is just, we're trying to get it in, and now we're trying to split it up. So we'll do both. Mr. Norton's given us his buses, so if we need to get buses, we can get that to make the round. But I'm like the sheriff. I would just as soon get it as close to the folks in a central location in each community, or areas of the city and areas, Island View, St. Joe Beach, Overstreet, different places.
I'm just asking, I'm about to get run down with people trying to figure out what's going to happen. I just want to make sure I can tell them exactly what's going on.
Right. I'll just inform them, the 4 trucks have just made it to Wewell. They're set up there, and so they're coming this way. So it'll be there before the sun goes down.
The other thing we need is fuel. We're desperate need fuel at the water plant. I don't know where we're at with fuel.
We're out of gas, at our place. I have ordered from everybody in the world and got, also the sheriff's ordered, so it's all gonna come at the same time, and we're gonna have a bunch. So immediately, it's for emergency personnel, for keeping the water going, for keeping our tractors going. We're also working out, again, I talked to Representative Bashir, who came down, about getting some type of portable gas station, something where they can, sell 10 gallons to each person that needs to keep their generator running, needs to keep their car running. So we're working on that, little baby steps, but we've got some coming. And Commissioner Rich couldn't be here. He's trying to get his pumps up in Wewall for the city of Wewall, and trying to get some suppliers coming down from Bainbridge. Everybody's having problems. Again, we didn't get to see any news because we've been in dead zone of everything. But as far north as Atlanta, they've had problems, but Bainbridge has got problems and everything out west. So it's going to be a distribution problem, but we got some coming.
Diesel, do we have any diesel on the ground? That's what we're desperate.
Mark here. We got a little bit of diesel. The priority is keeping the fire flow going for the water, so we'll keep the water plant going and nothing else, and then we should be close. I mean, we've been promised it's close. So
a couple of things that's come up today too. Waste Pro. I was trying to find anybody with Waste Pro. I know that's going to become an issue really quick.
I have had a little bit of communication, very limited, secondhand. I have requested that the shelters, the school, and the courthouse complex, that they pick up, and we just dump it at the transfer station because nothing's operable. Of course, no household pickup yet, but when we open the shelter at the high school, we've got to have garbage service. So we're working on that, even if we just have one truck making a round, but they have the same type of problem. They know we've got a need, and we're working on it, but slowly but surely.
Okay. Yes, sir. I tried to find Chester Davis today. If we can locate Chester, maybe we can help him out. I'm not sure if he's in town. He's not in town.
Briefly, I spoke with Ralph Mills. He was in Tallahassee. He was going to come down and try to get in, and they said, no, you can't get in. And at any rate, a couple of things we talked about. Number one is putting stations around town to where that they could get to dumpsters and then take them to the transfer station. That way, residents in the streets that they couldn't get down, they could still have a place to put it, and gradually ramp up to once we get all these streets clean, to picking it up house to house and that type of thing. So they know we have an issue. It's like Michael said, they know they're going to work with us the best that they can. It's just difficult for them too, but they certainly know that we've got some issues with garbage.
The other thing I got asked was actually from state representative. They were looking for septic service. A lot of the state folks that are here in town, they need some way for all the portals over there. So I've actually, I talked to Michael Mize. He's trying to find somebody too, but if y'all have anybody with septic trucks, they're going to be in desperate need. As soon as we get up and running the wastewater treatment plant, we can accept it there. So we're working on that as well. That's all I had. Board members, y'all have anything on add?
Mr. Hammond, I want Mr. Novak to just give a quick talk about FEMA, the conversation we had with FEMA today.
Sure, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. When the governor was here and met with the chairman and talked to Mr. Hammond, the FEMA project manager cadre was here, and the chairman had a chance to speak with him with regards to your procurement, your disaster recovery, your program and public assistance, and your monitoring. And we'll be conferencing with his team, FEMA team. They'll be here in the morning and provide Ms. Woodward and the clerk, Ms. Norris, and the county staff the guidance on that. Tomorrow during those meetings, we'll take their direction, we'll follow their steps so we can properly engage them for your FEMA reimbursements and move forward. He understands time's of the essence in a small rural county and limited resources, and he said he'd be proactive about it, and we'll have that resolved tomorrow.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Hammond. Yeah, Mr. Les, come on up and give us an update, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. It's been a busy day. We got an elephant in front of us. We're going to take one bite at a time. That's the way to do it, and we're heading in the right direction. It was exciting news today that, first, let me start out by saying, Mr. Nelson said I'm incident commander. The sheriff's going to share that with me. We are unified in command. So just want to make that clear. It's not just less. The sheriff's got my back. So FEMA did also say that the president has approved your disaster declaration for Gulf County, which that now opens that up for your citizens. The two things you need to know is disasterassistance.gov. That's all one word, disasterassistance.gov. And then I'm going to give you guys a phone number when you're ready. Phone number is 1-800-621-3362. That's 1-800-621-3362. So that's how your citizens and your business owners are going to start connecting with FEMA and walking through the process of what FEMA can do to support them. FEMA also has some disaster survival teams en route that will be meeting with people. So we hope to have that set up here fairly quickly for you. So that's a huge step in getting us going in the right direction. I had opportunity to meet with the leaders of the 2 urban search and rescue teams that are working in your county. I know you've seen them out there. You got Task Force 4, which is the Orlando area, multiple fire departments in that area, and Task Force 8, which is multiple fire departments in the Ocala area. Those firemen and women have been working hard in some very difficult situations. The sheriff and I are happy to report, as you said earlier, so far so good. They did find 2 victims that were trapped with injuries, minor injuries. We're glad to report. They're being taken care of. And from the damage we've all seen, I think that's just a miracle. That so far so good, but we're not out of the woods yet. As the sheriff said, we still got a ways to go. Task Force 4 has a K-9 unit attached with them, and you'll start seeing some of the dogs working the area as well, just so you'll be aware of that. Sheriff reported good news on the pods. That's outstanding, and we're still going to keep our eye on those pods that are supposed to be coming for National Guard. We're desperate. Our biggest holdup, as you've been hearing over and over, we're not in contact with Tallahassee, and that's killing us. We can't track your missions. We don't know where everything is or when it's going to get here, so we're operating in the blind. But we keep being told over and over that those are inbound through the National Guard. So the good thing is you're going to have extra food and ice and water, we hope. That's what it sounds like. The critical needs for us right now is the internet. Again, until we get hooked back into the state with our web EOC, we can't track missions. We can't tell you where our stuff is. We hear over and over and over fuel. Again, we're operating in the blind. We're being told it's inbound, it's on its way, and we're just keeping our fingers crossed. And the same thing with communications. There was some positive conversation with the governor's group today that, again, they keep telling us any minute now it's going to show up. So I think there's going to be a whole line of a lot of trucks and equipment rolling in town, hopefully any minute now. And that's all I've got for now, unless there's any questions.
Any questions, commissioners? All right, Ms. Hammond.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I don't know how I missed him. I'm looking straight at him. The mayor of Weeklaw's here, and if he could give an update on the situation.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Gaskin, Mayor of the City of Woo Hitchcock. Again, fuel is a problem. We're out of fuel right now. We're trying to get some out of David's up there, which is it's hard to get with the little pumping deal we're trying to work with. Sheriff, you pumped out about 3/4 of our fuel 2 days ago. I saw some cars coming up there twice. We have to slow that down. We got to be able to operate our equipment.
It's already taken care of. All of our stuff's
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Check that out.
Diesel and gas, whenever we can get it, we need some. We're gonna need some because David doesn't have that much. Our equipment's burning a lot of it. Our water system is operable. We can operate our water system. We're operating the water system from 1:30 to 5:30 every day. We're trying to do that. I don't know how long we're gonna be able to do it. Our sewer system, our lift stations, we got to have generators for them. We can get those lift stations working. We can, I think we got 17 lift stations. We need 17, and I know y'all don't have them in your back pocket, but anyway y'all can help us with them. We can get that sewer system up and we start moving forward with our water. Our water's limited.
Philip, if we can find a portable generator to go from one to one, are they hooked up where we can easily plug them in?
No, that's the problem. I've got King Strange working on getting some adapters put on them right now. I know he's working with y'all, doing some stuff for y'all, but he's trying to work us into. Presently, we have Lyle Lake's pump tank on site. Going to be there until we get through with him. We're moving stuff from lift station to lift station. We've got our #1 lift station that pumps to our plant operable. So we're pumping out of the other lift stations into number one, and we just started doing that today. So we're gonna see how that works, but with 17 lift stations, he's not gonna be able to keep up. It just won't work. But we're doing the best we can there. We need some generators if we can get them. Light stations, we could use some light stations, because we're gonna be running those plants at night and, stay in the dark. Those lift stations, that one lift station at night, dumping into it, Lyle is, raise people. Water and ice, y'all touched on that. We need that, quick as y'all can get it, we understand that. Roadblocks, sheriff touched on them, we were having trouble people getting back into their homes, and we were really having trouble with them going to town, or going to north, trying, and buying supplies, and then trying to get back in, but I'm glad to hear that's relaxed, because they've got to be able to, you know, they're not animals, they got to have supplies. Food, the essentials, y'all touched on that. You're gonna use, the gym up there.
And that's a little bit of a correction. Now, the immediate food is gonna be at the school, at the high school. The donated food is gonna be at the gym, and other items, it'd be other. So the stuff that's up there, as we speak, is already on site, is at the high school, right now.
Is at the high school, it's open to the public.
And it's open to the public. That's right. And then the donated stuff that's gonna come in the future days, is gonna be at the gym on 71. Yes, sir.
Communication, I don't know, is y'all cell phones up, are they up down here? We're working on VHF radios, and they're limited, that's a big problem. I did hear that Verizon was gonna set up some hot spots in the north end of the county and the south end of the county too. I don't know how they're coming on that. We're all working hands-on, you look at us and tell, my commissioners and everybody we got's working, and, that's all we can do. These meetings that y'all hold right here, I wonder if there's any way, we don't have telephone or communications. I'm not gonna be able to come every day right now. I'm working up there hands-on, trying to make sure our little thing is working. We're trying to get everything moving as fast as we can. I'm gonna send Brian Cox and Michael Wortman down here, both or either. They'll speak for me. And, let's see.
And Mayor, as soon as we get, communications up, we'll just put you in, you speakerphone, and we'll be able to.
And I'll come
communicate
when I
that
can, but
same
we
way.
just limited up there on personnel, and we haven't all pitched in. I think me and my two commissioners right there, probably the dirtiest people in the room. We literally got off a buggy and came straight over here. Let's see, the people in our community, I'm so proud of them, man. They have, they've worked hard, they've cleaned up, and they cleaned up 70% of our city. Not cleaned it up, got our roadways passable. I really owe them on everything. That's pretty much where we're at. Commissioner Paul, you got anything?
Touched on about everything.
Commissioner Petty? All right, I think that's all we can do.
All right, appreciate it, Mayor.
And Mayor,
Appreciate y'all. We know y'all working hard. We got a mess.
We're trying one day at a time. I think tomorrow, the next step is to get groceries, and we will try to get the IGA up and running to pump gas. We don't have a gas station on the south end of the county, not any pumps at all for the public. So if we can get David and the Dixie Dandy, and maybe, I've not been up to the creek stop, but if you've got actual pumps that we can get power to and then the public can get gas, and that'll take a huge weight off.
Well, we gotta have the gas first. You can get them up running if you don't have fuel.
That's right.
We bought David's fuel, part of it. He's given some to the public. We bought some, but it's not gonna be enough, and it's not gonna hold out very long. And, I think Kenny is working with him on a generator.
That's right.
As well as the Dixie Dandy.
That's right.
I don't know that, I haven't confirmed it 100%, but that's what hearsay is. We appreciate y'all, any way we can help y'all, we'll be there. We got our hands full right now, as y'all all know, and y'all do too.
Thank you, Mayor. Just real quick, before I forget about this. All right, Les said something very important. He gave out some very important information. Who gonna get that information out to the public?
We will get Kelly with TDC to put it on, but our problem today is, and they're gonna need it in the days coming forward, Nobody's got a phone and nobody's got internet today, but they are, I did understand when I went to WeWorld, that they are getting these alerts. They got the burn ban alert, so the phones are getting these alerts, so we will put that out on the alert phone and put the telephone number and the website, so when it comes up, the public will have that. We're also going to put it on the website where these distribution sites are. We'll do the alert for that as well. It takes about an hour and a half of red tape to get the alert out, but we will get on that just as quick as we get through the meeting.
All right, Mr. Novak, tell us about Ms. Kelly. Gave some very important news also.
Kelly's going back home and she's plugging it into her mom's truck and sending it out through an internet, some Wi-Fi that way. So she's taking the information, going up there, doing the e-blast on Facebook. It's getting out to the people in the community. And they're relaying the message that they're getting this news out there, so that 1,000+ people are getting these e-blasts. Also, there's 4 radio stations today, WPAP and a few others. So in their trucks, in their cars, these battery-operated radios, Dr. Shane, we're going to get the information to them, and then they're going to be broadcasting over these 4 radio stations that everyone's listening to at their homes, both here and elsewhere, so they can get the information from the sheriff, Mr. Les, Michael Warren, and the commission. So get it up.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. McDaniel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Just to follow up with the Mayor Gaskin, up in the north end of the county, I had the opportunity to come down here, and we've got catastrophic damage, but it's not what I've seen over here with the homes. But the people are working good up there. They're working in unity. We've had no problem, to my knowledge, and I've been from county line to Willis Landing to you know where, and we're going trying to find people, and so far we haven't had any fatalities so far. But on the fuel, Mr. Mayor, I know Florida National Guard had a transportation company, trucking company in Mariana, and they have big tankers to follow those convoy trucks, and there's no reason. We spoke with the United States Senator Nelson. He was over in the EOC maybe an hour and a half ago, but they couldn't get some fuel and set up, and at least if we can give billions of dollars to these people that don't like us, they ought to at least be able to give us $10 gallons to the friendlies.
Well, I saw 7 or 8 tankers come through WeWorld about dark last night on 71.
Oh, they was 25.
I don't know where they went, but
they did. But the Florida National Guard, they've got these transportation companies throughout the state, and they got tankers to go with them, and they can bring up there and ration it out. They got the pump facility, everything.
Well,
that's all we need.
Let me just add this, Mayor. The governor did tell me that we got food, water, gas, and generators coming.
Okay.
So like Mr. Les said, we probably won't have double, but it's coming. I mean, he told me that. So, I mean, hopefully it's gonna start rolling in.
Triple or quadruple.
Yeah.
Commissioner, if I may.
Yes, sir.
I said Brian Cox, and I'm not going with any of my commissioners that come down here, though. If I'm not here, they'll be the city's mouthpiece.
Okay, that's fine.
And if y'all don't have anything else for us, we'll go back to work.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'll see you in a minute.
Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Phil.
All right, Mr. Hammond. Mr. Hammond, you still got the flu? Mr. Hammond.
I'm glad the mayor didn't shoot me for missing him. I don't know how I did. I looked straight at him. I'm tired. Eugene Mansfield, situation.
We've got a 1,000 kW generator we found, and we'll be here tomorrow morning on my birthday. I'll be spending my birthday putting it up. Woods Fishery just got theirs rolled in. They'll be online, I think, tomorrow. We've got, between both of us, somewhere around 250 tons of ice. We've been giving it out at Piggly Wiggly parking lot, just probably done 50,000 pounds already. We get that generator going tomorrow. We can make 120 tons in a 24-hour period. We'll offer it free. If we need any assistance with bagged ice for other purposes, we'll store it in our freezer. Anything we can do to help, we're there. We're just asking for some security around all of our. I got the sheriff, and that's being taken care of now. We store several million pounds of frozen product, ice, whatever we need to do, and make ice not only for Duck County, but for Baker County and Hamlin. Everybody's run out of gas on their generators. Food, Mr. Harrison, as we speak, we need ice bad.
Thank you, Mr. Raphael. National Guard.
It's over there inside of there.
Come on up to the podium, if you don't mind, please.
All right, so currently, as you guys know, we have one small element here. That element got split last night, partly into Calhoun County, which had 0 presence of National Guardsmen. So that 60-person unit got split. The other part of the unit right now has been down in the Cape all day doing search and rescue. They're going to be coming back in tonight. And the rest of the Florida National Guard from Orlando north, multiple battalions has been mobilized to the Panhandle. We have parts of 2nd Battalion, one of the 124 Infantry, coming in here to this county later today. They are on the way. An hour ago, they were supposedly 45 minutes out. I imagine they're hitting some traffic and things like that. Commissioner McDaniel, I did put in the request yesterday, myself and Sergeant Lovett, to see if the gas that we have on site could be distroed to civilians. We were shut down on that. It was for military vehicles only. We did put in the request, but unfortunately it was downgraded. However, we do have more of a presence coming into the city to help out with logistics and everything that we possibly can. I've been getting requests from the sheriff and everybody over at the EOC. As fast as they come in, we put them up. And I'm sure most of you guys know, we got told yesterday that the restraints on the Florida National Guard were going to be lifted a little bit because we had multiple missions canceled or put to another ESF. We would put in a mission and it would be sent to law enforcement when we didn't have very much law enforcement up until you got deputies from Ocala and so on and so forth. So our missions that are going to be going up from now on are going to be a lot less restricted as to us being able to approve them and just send our guardsmen out as far as whatever you guys need where it comes to security, search and rescue, or distro of the pods. The R2 pods that are coming in, once again, as Les said, we don't know when those are coming in by helicopter, but once they come in, they will be manned by National Guard. So that's what we got as of right now.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Dennis wants to give a quick update on where we are on phones and internet.
We had internet.
Come on up to the podium,
Fairpoint
Mr.
did hook us up, but they lost the station on the beach, and we lost everything we had again. I went to talk to them. They're trying to restore it now. They don't know if their generator quit or if they ran out of fuel. So it's, I don't really have any good news. The military, Governor talked to me earlier and said they were bringing in a mobile unit that could give us 5 phones and 5 internet connections. Supposed to have been here a little bit ago. It should be here anytime, but we're still struggling. I thought we were a long way until everything quit again. And then I drove down to Fairpoint, and that's when they told me they lost that station on the beach. So hopefully they'll get that back up. Now they gave us an unbelievable internet connection. They gave us unrestricted access. It's as much as you can push up or download, but it doesn't do any good after the station went out. But if they get it back up, I'll have hard internet in the back building as soon as it comes back up. Try to get Wi-Fi up so we can do cell phone calling. But I'm just waiting on them now. If they don't do it, then I'll try to do something when the military gets here to do that. So hopefully, I'm hoping to have it done today, sometime today. I'm not going home until it's done today.
I appreciate it.
And just to reiterate how critical it is, I did get, when we had service, just a minute, Ginger Delegal, the FAC president, executive director, wanted to know why Guth County hadn't been on the conference call forever, and it's like, we're in third world territory, and it's like, well, you got to get on. I said, we have nothing, no radio, no nothing, so it's imperative that we get out there.
He was very concerned when he talked to me, and he assured me that the unit was on the way, and that the military would be bringing it. So when he gets here, we'll get it going.
The only other thing I have, I know that Lighthouse, if they get power they can supply some of their areas. They have water to provide, but after seeing Mr. Yeager's pictures, north of the stump hole is going to be out of water for a very, very long time. I'll keep working with Mr. Anderson as they progress on what the situation is with White City, Highland View, and the beach. But again, we've got a lot of problems with infrastructure, water, sewer, and not to even discuss power.
Michael, get Lee to give us, they done some preliminary assessment on some houses, if he could.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Unfortunately, my news is never good. Started preliminary damage assessment today, and actually last night, just from the stump hole east to Lee Street, which is Money Bio. 175 properties, 45 destroyed, 79 major damage to destroy, and 51 minor. That's nothing north of the stump hole, which is where it's going to be devastating. That's not in town. That's not Highland View or the beaches where it's going to be 20 times fold over. So you're looking at thousands of destroyed homes, possibly. That was just that one little section. I also got my other guys from Indian Pass to the county line on C30. We started there to try to work our way back. I don't have the numbers yet from Simmons Bio, but we have not gotten anything from C30A north yet. So that's, and the worst spot we have not, we don't even know how to tackle that yet. So it's going to be very, very bad.
Michael, I wonder too on Lighthouse, me and Mr. Yeager went down and Jay lost his tanks there at, at the plant there. So I don't know where he's going to be with the water. He lost all those tanks. Yeah.
That's actually the backup plant
Okay.
now, which is positive, and that they have used that, they used it after the lightning strike, but on around the curve where the new tank is, we were led to believe that they're operational there if we get some power. The problem is there's no lines north of the stump.
No.
If we can get them power, it's possible that they can feed back to the city on that side if they can get enough flow, I guess, back to Jones Homestead and connection. So we're going to work. I know Mr. Strange is working with him on getting a generator to that plant and see if we can backfeed to the city and handle things south of the stump hole, but massive line failure there at the stump hole north.
All right, thanks, sir. Anything else?
That's all I have, unless Mr. Yeager has something. Mark, do you have anything?
No.
I just have one question, talking about water and food distribution. I heard him say it'll probably be close to dark before we get that stuff in, so it's actually gonna be tomorrow before we're gonna be distributing food here.
It's here now.
It's here now?
They're unloading.
All right, that's good. That was my only question.
All right, so now we got another problem. All right, so how many, we got what, about 2 hours of daylight left? So we need to tell the people they can come to the elementary sheriff, or how you wanna?
By all means, tell them to come and get it if they've got the ability to do it. Otherwise, we're loading up trucks as many as we can and getting it out.
Okay.
These cars, whatever we gotta do.
Where do you want us to split? You want us to, can we get to Washington Gym? Is that the best? We'll get some county folks to get some stuff together and take it to Washington Gym, and that'll kind of split the difference if that helps.
That's fine. That'll be the distribution point there.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, do you actually need access to the inside, or are you gonna do it around the valve?
Whatever y'all, what you tell us.
Hold on, hold
Just do it outside.
Hold up.
Sure be quick.
Let's go to the sheriff on it, because they're the ones gonna be working it. So how you wanna set up drive-through, or?
Or whatever that we can, and if we need to break this pod up and take it over to Washington, if that makes it more convenient, we'll get it on over there and just get as much as we can between now and dark, and they can pick up there, however you.
So you want well, we don't need going inside because we got no light, so we'll set it up on that driveway. Okay, all right.
Sheriff, if you need to see King of Bill or the Washington Gym for storage or any of that stuff, it's available to anybody that needs it.
And the public's gonna be curfewed out, but we'll try to get workers to get stuff to the fire departments on the south end of the night, no matter what time it is, where folks that need it. I know St. Joe Beach is desperate for water, and I understand Overstreet is desperate for water, so we're gonna do our best to work as long as it takes to get a little bit out tonight, and then hopefully tomorrow will be a better day.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Mr. Novak, you go ahead on and tell them about it. Huh?
Mr. Durham, the Piggly Wiggly, got a couple pallets loaded up, with Mr. Colbert out and back, and some of the commissioners got, Overstreet, a pallet of water, Gatorades, distilled water, and St. Joe Beach, Mr. Butler, Mr. Richardson, and all, and then they were told that there would be more coming, so to hold the folks over out there, so they distribute it right now until you guys can get the rest out there.
All right, that's it?
Unless you tell me different, we'll meet again. I'm sorry, unless you tell me different, we'll meet again at 9.
All right.
If the North End Commissioners, I know you've got all you can do, you don't have to come. I'll try my best to keep you informed, but if, until we get phone communication, we're gonna have to send couriers or something to find out what y'all need and, because it's a 2-hour minimum round trip to send somebody up, but whatever we have to take, maybe radio, law enforcement can relay through, what you need, but at least we know it's already in Wewell, it's already in St. Joe at the school, so we're getting some supplies.
Yeah. One thing to follow up, I forgot to mention, for communications back down here, we will have an AT&T phone that's supposed to be delivered by Leon County helicopter here any minute now. We've got 25 AT&T phones that do operate in Wewell. We'll have one there at the substation, and somebody, if we've got any emergency messages that need to, we'll obviously be calling up there. But for anything, anybody in the north end of the county that needs to get something down here on an emergency basis, we'll have one there and have it manned, and they can call and relay the information down here to us so we can get units out. So we got something on communication.
All right, thanks.
Mr. Chairman, one of us, Commissioner Rich, I spoke with him earlier, and I told him he filled in yesterday. I said, I'll come today, but, I got 266 people in a shelter up there, and every one of them's got 25 questions, and, you burn up a lot of time, but anyway, one of us will be.
Mr. Chairman, if we could, get a report from Sacred Heart.
Yes, sir. Somebody from Sacred Heart want to come on up?
Come on, Roger.
While he's coming up, we need I just thought about this. We need somewhere set up where we can communicate with people. Because I ran into a few people and they said, I got questions, so we need a tent set up where we can send them and say, all right, go here, you get all, they'll be able to answer some of your questions. So are we working on that, or?
We will.
Okay. All right.
Yes, we're good afternoon, Commissioners. We're operational. We have the emergency department going, Dr. Pablo and our nurses, so we're able to take care of emergent patients right now with minor emergency. But to get the hospital back in, I want everyone to think about, we employ nearly 100 folks. So if you think about being able to get the hospital fully in service, we don't have 100 folks with housing. So my ask is a couple of things. One, we desperately need water, potable water. We need another generator, and we need to get Mainstay with the generator and their service, because we need. They've agreed to give us 20 rooms, so that will help us with the staffing. So please thank the Mainstay and what they're doing. We need water. Gas is critical. You know, they had to cut down the gas so as quick as we can get gas down. So the priorities are get Mainstay up, get gas to the hospital, and get water to the hospital so that we can take care of the folks. So a lot of needs. I know everyone's pressing, but if we can get those, we can do a lot. We're thankful for a great medical staff. We have 3 doctors in house, and we just saw Dr. Bixler come up, so you know what a blessing all that is. So we got dedicated staff that are here. We're bringing staff from outside the area and bringing them in. It's nice being part of the Ascension Healthcare Sacred, because they're coming in. We have Emily Avery that's working with us from MedExcel, and they have a nationwide service on being able to take care of hospitals, and they're helping us activate the hospital. So she's doing an incredible job on coordinating and reaching out. But water, gas, and a generator.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
We got you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Yes, sir.
Military secret.
Well, that's good news.
They said you'll have phones and wireless internet within the hour.
Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the military. Governor Scott kept his word, but
He did,
that's
he did.
a good one on that one. That's about exactly what he said
Yes,
he was
sir.
going.
All right, we're gonna recess till the morning. Let's go out and let's go get to work. Hold on, who I missed? Hold on 1 second. Hold on, I missed one. Come on up.
I just need to speak on behalf of the fire department.
Yes, sorry about it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm stating the obvious in a lot of ways. I'm really worried about my firefighters. We are all looking at this from a county perspective for obvious reasons. Each of our fire stations are looking at their community and doing what they can in their community. They have not been to sleep at all. They are all working nonstop, continuously. We as a county are short-staffed on firefighters on a normal, everyday basis, and they're all volunteers. Now we're looking at a situation where they are kind of leading their communities to get through this, what we're going through. So I'm worried about their health and safety right now for obvious reasons. I hate to be ugly, but we have no leadership in this capacity right now, so each community is just kind of doing their own thing. The guys that are taking over IC are really helping me to kind of know how to lead this, but we don't have a central person in a leadership in our fire capacity, so I'm concerned about that, and I'm concerned about our firefighters.
Okay. All right. So we need to get somebody. But they actually need some more bodies too, because they gonna need to.
We need to supplement and you'll get some things this afternoon.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
We'll get you some help. Appreciate it. Yes, ma'am. Come on up. Glad to see you.
Thank you. Just very briefly, my name's Heidi O'Shin. I'm the Gulf County Liaison for the American Red Cross. So I brought my contact information for all of you, and anything you think we can help with, I can pass it up through the Red Cross channel. We do have the shelter over at Honeyville. They got a big supply today of food and cots and blankets. But if there's anything else we can do, we're happy to try, and I will pass it up.
The immediate thing is, as soon as we get up at the high school with our shelter, we're going to need Red Cross to help with that, and the next thing would be to feed at that. So we're trying to get that up as we speak. Hopefully by tomorrow we will be up, and that will be a big
Yes.
shelter, 500 plus. So that is the immediate next need.
Okay, thank you. Maybe we can talk after, and I can get the details.
Please.
The request, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Go
The
ahead.
request has already been put in, but just to make sure y'all know, because it's supposed to come through you, cleaning
Okay.
supplies for us to distribute at pods.
Okay.
We're needing mops and brooms and buckets and bleach.
We did bring an emergency response vehicle in today, so it will start driving throughout the county tomorrow. It's got food and water as well, so. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate it. Michael, make sure you get with him right after this.
Just want to give you a quick update on EMS in North Henry County. I just got back from up there. We have 5 strike team ambulances up there. We also have a DMAT team that's setting up a triage center either in our station or in the Wigwam Medical Clinic next door. Hopefully we're going to get it in there. The 5 ambulances have been divided up, 2 at the White City, 1 at the shelter in Wewall, and 2 at our station. They're going to make all the primary calls now, and our crew's going to be riding with them as navigators, so they don't know the way around. So all the patients picked up from Intercoastal Waterway North will be transported to our station. They'll be triaged there by the DMAT team and either treated and released or flown out. They're working right now on getting 2 helicopters in the same area. And down here we have several ambulances that's doing our transports.
All right, we appreciate
Houston, one more thing, where we, when we're metabacking out, are we going to Tallahassee, where we outlined?
Well, that's whatever we can get a hospital to accept them.
Both Bay County hospitals are still down.
They're down. That's gonna be Shands, Tallahassee, Dothan. And we took that one this morning to, Destin.
All right. All right. We appreciate everyone. All right. Recess till in the morning.
Hey, John.